The Texas Longhorns are living through some very tense days in recruiting. One of the biggest stars committed to the program may be on his way out, and fans are already talking about the worst-case scenario for the 2027 class. A five-star wide receiver, considered the best at his position in the entire country, is being courted by another college football powerhouse. And the signs coming out of Austin are not encouraging at all. Who is this player? How big is this battle? And what could happen in the coming days? Stay with us because this story is just getting started. Before we get into the main details, let me tell you something else that is turning the stomach of every Longhorns fan. In the same week this crisis broke out, Texas also lost the race for another five-star wide receiver named Monshun Sales. He chose to stay home and play for the Indiana Hoosiers, the reigning national champions. Two elite wide receivers gone in a matter of days. That is the size of the problem head coach Steve Sarkisian is facing right now on the recruiting trail. Now, the name of the young man causing all this turbulence inside the Texas program is Easton Royal. Easton Royal is just 17 years old, born in New Orleans in the state of Louisiana, and plays for Brother Martin High School. He stands around 5 feet 11, weighs approximately 210 pounds, and possesses a level of speed that very few athletes can show at his age. In his last high school season, he recorded 53 receptions, more than 1,150 receiving yards, and an impressive 17 touchdowns. It comes as no surprise that he was named the top wide receiver in the 2027 class in national rankings, including the Rivals ranking. For Texas, he was the second highest ranked prospect in the entire class, which currently sits fifth in the country. Royal committed to Texas back in November. It was a moment of enormous excitement in Austin. He chose the Longhorns on the wave of their victory over Texas A&M, attended the game as an unofficial visitor, and shortly after made his announcement with that epic line on social media, "Why not Texas? Hook him." He was the first major commitment of the 2027 recruiting class. And it seemed solid. It seemed final. But recruiting in college football is rarely final. Since early 2025, the signs that Easton Royal was reconsidering his decision have been growing more and more visible. The LSU Tigers, the program from his home state of Louisiana, entered the battle with full force. New LSU head coach Lane Kiffin, formerly of Ole Miss and Tennessee, began building a personal relationship with Royal. Kiffin started sending frequent messages to the young athlete, sharing motivational videos and making it crystal clear that he wanted him wearing the purple and gold of Baton Rouge. Royal did not hide his interest. In public statements, he admitted that his friends at school are constantly pushing him to flip from Texas to LSU. He went as far as saying, in his own words, that he is committed to Texas but is still trying to figure out if that is truly the best decision for him and his family. And he went further. After an official visit to the LSU campus, he declared that the Louisiana program made a very significant jump in his decision-making process. That visit to LSU appears to have been the turning point. Before it, Royal had been sending mixed signals but still seemed to be leaning toward Austin. After the visit to Baton Rouge, according to recruiting analysts, his tone changed completely. Brian Smith, a recruiting expert from the Locked On channel, was blunt about it. "I know the kid and he really does like Texas. But his tune has changed quite a bit since that official visit. I have a feeling he is going to be a Bayou Bengal." And it did not stop there. Steve Wiltfong, one of the most respected recruiting analysts in the country at Rivals, officially logged a prediction that Royal will flip his commitment from Texas to LSU. That kind of prediction is taken very seriously in the world of college football recruiting. Wiltfong does not put his reputation on the line lightly. What makes this situation even more delicate for Texas is the combination of factors that LSU is using to pull Royal away. First, the emotional factor. He is from New Orleans, he grew up in Louisiana, and all the pressure from his friends and his environment points towards staying in his home state. Second, the athletic appeal. LSU has an impressive track record of developing wide receivers for the NFL. Just look at the names that have come out of that program in recent years. Third, and perhaps most decisive in today's college football landscape, the NIL package. NIL refers to the money college athletes can legally receive for their name, image, and likeness rights. And LSU is reportedly putting a very strong offer on the table. Texas is not sitting still. Sarkisian also has serious arguments in his favor. In recent years, The Longhorns have sent wide receivers directly to the NFL draft. Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, and Matthew Golden are all recent examples of receivers who came through the Texas program and got drafted. That development pipeline is a real and powerful selling point. On top of that, Arch Manning himself, the star quarterback of the Longhorns and one of the most recognizable names in college football, is playing his part in the retention effort. Manning revealed at the Manning Passing Academy that he recently had lunch with Royal in Austin and told him he could be a resource and a reference throughout this process. Having the most talked about quarterback in the country in your corner is no small thing. Royal even posted on social media denying the flip rumors, writing, "This is not true." But then he deleted the post. And when someone deletes their own denial, the concern inevitably grows. If Texas officially loses Easton Royal to LSU, the consequences go beyond emotional disappointment. The Longhorns' 2027 class, currently ranked 5th in the country, would take a significant hit at the wide receiver position. Right now, beyond Royal, Texas only has 2 other committed receivers in the class, Bryce Son Thrower Jr. and Kieran Brown. Losing the number 1 receiver in the class would leave a massive hole that would be extremely difficult to fill. The Longhorns still hold quality commitments in the class. The number 1 cornerback in the country, John Meredith III, remains firm in Austin. 5-star offensive lineman Ismail Kamara is also committed to Texas. But Sarkisian's staff would need to move fast to find new receiving options, and time is not on their side. One possibility being discussed is that Texas could try to circle back and flip Monshun Sales somewhere down the line. A verbal commitment is not binding, and that is a reality of modern recruiting that every coach knows well. But convincing Sales to leave the national champion Indiana Hoosiers for Texas would be an enormous challenge on its own. The hardest part for fans in Austin is this: if Royal confirms the flip to LSU, the chances of him reversing course and recommitting to Texas are practically zero. After leaving a program you have been committed to since November, there would be no logical reason to come back. The window of opportunity for Texas is closing fast. Easton Royal's decision could come at any moment. Recruiting is moving at full speed. LSU wants to close this chapter as soon as possible. Texas will fight until the very last second. And the entire college football world is watching. So here is the question for you. Do you think Easton Royal will honor his commitment to Texas, or will he give in to the pressure and flip to LSU? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel to follow all the latest Texas Longhorns news in real time. This bomb could go off any day now.